housekeeping, and I've lost my briefcase with most of my poetry in it, so I'm falling back on stuff that's been around for quite some time. The upside of that is most of you won't have heard these. This is a true story. I happen to be rooming with the grandson of the protagonist of this little piece back in the 1970s. And as near as I can vouch for its veracity. At least that's how it was told to me by the family. He disappeared in the dead of winter. They traced the cab that took him to the depot. The family's all distraught. He was last seen in the cafe eating dinner, but nobody saw him pay the check and go when Grandpa caught the dog. He packed a grip and didn't leave a letter. He cleared out the bank, took all his savings. The family's real distraught. The cap with ear flaps, a curling sweater, a scarf for what people saw him wearing when Grandpa caught the dog. They didn't hear a word from him all winter. Till they got a phone call Easter Sunday. Okay, yeah. The family's still distraught. Right in the middle of Easter dinner. He's marrying a widow he met down in Miami when Grandpa caught the dog. Next week, they got a picture and a letter. Standing on the beach with some smiling woman. The family's real distraught. Golf shirt, Bermuda shorts, and looking better. Looks like a corpse, more like a human, now that Grandpa caught the dog. There's a bit of an appendix to that story in that Grandpa had apparently tried to blow town a couple of times before, but he was wheelchair bound, and he got on top of the old overpass there on 9th Avenue and couldn't go up or down, and was just sort of wheeling back and forth aimlessly till somebody came and took him home. The next time around, he caught a cab. Okay. As I said, these are mostly old things. This is kind of depressing, but what the hell. Everybody knows I'm such a Mr. Sunshine. It's called August. Imagine I shall die some evening when the sun calls in the payment on the loan and the earth, the red bricks in this town where I've already stayed too long, will glow with a much more than reflected light. About supper time in summer, when the streets are hot and quiet and the dusty trees throw long shadows towards the night, in the hour between traffic and television, when the dogs lie panting in the yard. Hold the funeral high up on some hill. Let the mourners look away out across the fields. Let them speak if they're of a mind. But for myself, I doubt if I'd have much to say. Were I there, I'd rather listen to the wind, ruffling the grasses and the crows along the fence line. And when it's done and they are all gone, let a coyote catch a hint of my ashes in the air. Well, that's one way of looking at it. The taint of burnt bone dust on the wind, one transient sign in a world filled with such, a momentary cause for caution in a suspicious world. The coyote passes on, shadow at the edge of the field, the wind in the grass, the high clouds over the hill cast their own shadows. Back in the town, people are coming in for supper. My name may be mentioned at the table. As I said, a very optimistic poem. Okay, well, where are we here? Yeah, we'll do this one. Some of you heard me before. I have a poem I dedicated to a friend, Marie Little in Vancouver, who came out as trans. Her memorial service was yesterday in Vancouver. And I'm not going to read that poem again because I've read it within the last year here. So this is a much older one. It's called Old Friend. Old friend, I hear that you have given up the revolution to marry and open a small shop catering to transvestites. I'm glad to see you retain your old belief in the perfectibility of man. What are we doing? I mean, yeah, this is, like I say, this is old stuff, and so it's not particularly organized. I'm having to scramble for it. Oh, what the hell, we'll do this one, though I've done it quite a bit. It's called The Devil Had a Daughter. They threw me in the river, and I walked upon the water. Believe me when I tell you, the devil had a daughter. Call me Lilith, call me Eve, call me the Pharaoh's daughter. I danced all night at the wedding dance, and I turned that wine to water. I went up on the mountain, and there I first threw the stone. I lit a smoke on the burning bush, the devil's daughter rolls her own. Call me Lilith, call me Eve, call me the pillar of salt. I looked ahead, and I looked behind. Was that some kind of fault? I rode out the storm, and I swam through the flood. I painted the town with my own pot of blood. Call me Lilith, call me Eve, Salome, and Delilah. I danced for my amusement, and I turned the night to fire. Black as the raven, and white as the dove. The fire by night and the rainbow above. Call me Lilith, call me Eve, Magdalene, and Mary. I wash the feet of those I choose, and all my dead I bury. A fox in the cornfield, a lamb meek and mild. I misled the searchers, and I saved a child. Call me Lilith, call me Eve, call me risen, call me fallen. I know my mind as well as yours. I'll not come to your calling. I never knew my father. I'm told he favored sons. Me, I'm just getting started. Well, my brother's been and gone. Thank you.
So I wrote this just over a week ago on June 16th. I call it Moments. We live within moments each day we exist. We travel a path and we're forced to persist. We cannot go back, reverse, or resist, leaving behind what is lost and missed. Leaving each moment day after day, leaving what's known while finding our way. Leaving these moments, unable to stay, traveling our path with moments we pay. Traveling through heat, snow, and rain, traveling through beauty, joy, and pain. Traveling these moments we cannot remain, holding the moments our memories retain. Holding those moments, but cannot reverse. Holding the lessons we learn and rehearse. Holding our past, both a blessing and curse. Learning the obstacles we always traverse. Learning of life while we become more. Learning ourselves down to our core. Learning of others and what we abhor. Missing the moments we wish to restore. Missing what's lost and left behind. Missing the joys we cannot rewind. Missing the moments that play in our mind. We treasure the moments we can no longer find. For love is a treasure and grief is its price. Life's filled with moments that make us think twice. So think on this moment and what you hold dear, and treasure each moment that beauty is near. Thank you.
So this first one is called What the Truth Is For. Bacon in the oven, getting very crisp. Standing in the shadows, getting on a list. I don't have to worry what all I will see. If you're in a hurry, all you'll ever be. Seeking the devotion seeking all the help, swimming in the ocean, getting to myself. Now I've got a purpose, someplace I can be. Now I've got a reason, getting through to me. All the things I'm seeing, all the life I have. Am I simply being? Is there something else? Huddled in a corner, crashed into the wall, never going over, answering the call. Money in my pocket, sand inside my mind, waiting for delivery, come some other time. Now I'm in the moment, now I will survive. Have another potion, something to imbibe. Dancing on the razors, bubbled in belief. In your mind you're cutting up, take it from the sheath. I am gonna give her everything I have, going into winter, crashing to the land, swimming in the circles, fading in the night, waiting for another dream that will make it bright. Switching all your settings, gonna turn them off, faster than an avalanche that is gonna fall. Thank you. This one's called I Couldn't Dodge the Ball. Like a light bulb burning, gonna put it out. Standing in the shadows, gotta scream and shout. Waiting for the morning, get out of the day. I am gonna take it, come whatever may. Fumbling for weapons, some way to attack. If they're gonna put me down, I'll be fighting back. I don't need to worry, I don't need to care. If you wanna let them, you will find it there. Days are full of burning, reaching to the stars. Cameras always turning, standing in the bars. So much to be thankful, all the things to see. Living like a lizard, climbing in a tree. People gonna show me what they really are. People gonna put me down, are they reaching far? I don't need the morning, I don't need the day. All I need is there inside, and it's gonna stay. You are gonna tell me how you wanna help. I am gonna tell you there is nothing else. Muddy as I murder, as I swing the knife, garbling the message, leading to the strife. Are you gonna hit me with a face of sand? Are you gonna tear me out from within the land? All the mushrooms growing there within the soil, all the standards falling down, got to find the gold. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. I have two sort of works in progress that I'll read. So just first draft stuff, but I don't know. I like to hear it out loud as I write it. This first one is titled Salsas y Modelos. Walking by a Latin bar and stepping inside because the music is loud and fast and I am thirsty. The happy couple twirls on the dance floor, one step in front of the other. A wavering child learning to walk. The Modelo Especial sheds its foil collar and sweats. I am a working man, did you know? My lover on the res tells me I have earned this. The money, in my pocket has found a comfortable home. Like a newly woken spring bear nestled in the crook of a pine's bough. It barely remembers light, but he is fresh and he dreams of something sweet. The red berries waiting for a birth after mountains rain. Frost will not reach us here. Finish your poem and step on the dance floor. The drums will guide your clumsy boots. Other hips will teach you the rest. You are a working man. You can afford a Friday unburdened by paper or glass. Let the sleepy-eyed bear slide down his perch. Eat the mango perfume from her outstretched hand. Sweat. Push up your hat. Mind where your braids sway. There are only so many nights left this winter. Okay, this next one is, sorry, just let me find it. It's called a Prairie Jailbreak, and this one's for there'll be a new poet tonight, so. In this gloomy curtain of raven's wing, your color gifted a new story to fireweed. Life has no choice. Beauty, wonder, kindness blossoms in the ash of destruction. Some forests grow only so they might burn brighter, and that's okay. What greens and purples, what pinks. Us heartbroken have breathed smoke too long, but the story is the same, true to its birth, like all stories. A captive man, a daring rescue, fire by night, the trail burning home, singular towards the heart. We bend with the wind, we reach for the sun. We desire connection as roots plunge soil. We desire seeds. We desire freedom as seeds lifted on a passerine's tongue. You entered my dreams for the first time and taught me plain sign language. I ran from a previous lover's single word. In a new bed, I remembered only violence. Still, we bend, we reach, we desire, we dream. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everybody. This is still a rough draft, but my mind came up with it. It's called Questions, Questions, Questions. Why can't you focus? Why can't you keep up? Why can't you work as hard as everyone? Aren't you grateful? Are you lazy? Why can't you just fit in like everyone? Why do you scar your face? Why do you pay attention to your weight? Why can't you put effort to take care of yourself? Where are you going? Who are you meeting? What are you wearing? Don't you know you look fat in that? Why don't you speak up? Why do you overshare? Is it that hard to just be like everyone? Why are you sad? Why can't you just move on? Don't you know that everyone has their own lives? These questions don't define me, but my answers to them would.
So the one I'm going to read, it's a new work, but I wrote it a while ago. It's called The Stars Can Blame Me, and it's basically a commentary on fate. When I wish upon a star, why can't they be other than they are? Those fatalistic points of light whose fatal pinpricks murder the night. Seriously, what gives them the right to think that they can just sit there unmoving and control my life? Do you think they care about your suffering? Their implacable silence doesn't move me. And why should I learn to interpret their astrology when they aren't even listening? They can use their words if they have something to say to me, but instead they just sit there and sulk petulantly. If a tree falls in the universe, does it make a sound in space if no one can hear you scream? It's those bloody stars, I tell you. They suck the life out of everything. Them and their infernal gravity, barely leaving anything over for the little folk who lean more planetary. I, for one, refuse to exalt their greed. Let the sky turn red with every sunrise and sunset. I care not for their embarrassment. Let the sky black out from humiliation, just because they didn't get what they wanted from their sun. That thing is an eyesore, and it's making me blind. It's not my fault if those accursed stars can't stand to see their own shadow side, and if they stand immobilized with no one to run to, surrounded on all sides by endless night. I'm not tempting anything. I'll make them rue the day they thought they were entitled to dictate fate. Thank you.
I wrote a poem today. It might be first draft, might be the only draft. Anyway, it's self-explanatory. It's called She Tried So Hard. I know a woman who used to joke that she'll have engraved on her tombstone, "She tried so hard." And I know that for almost a lifetime that phrase was always just underneath whatever she was doing. And it broke my heart. I saw how she worked, how she tried, how she was always trying so hard, and she really did try so hard. More than once I've seen her after work, face lined with stress, holding back the tears and saying, "But I'm trying so hard." I remember how when she was 3 years old, she knew how sad her mommy was, her daddy too. Trying to distract himself from his life, he'd say, "Dance for your daddy now." And she danced, and she sang, and she smiled, and then brought his cup of tea to his chair. But he just went back to reading the paper. A few years later, her mommy would say, "Come, help me with the babies." And she would. She'd feed them, bathe them, and play with them. She changed thousands of diapers, and her mommy would brag to relatives, "I could have left both babies with her at 6 years old. So responsible, so capable was she." She tried. And she tried harder, but no matter how much she tried even harder, she couldn't make her daddy nor her mommy happy. She did know, though, that trying really, really hard did keep worse things from happening. The anger, the screaming, the tears, the slapping, the fear. This woman then grew up in a world that holds so much more unhappiness than even her mommy and daddy held. And she tried so hard to help everyone, every situation. Tired but relentless, she tried. She tried so hard, she couldn't live with the anxiety, the fear of what might happen if she didn't try so hard. Unless she was exhausted and her soul aching, she never felt safe enough to stop, to rest, to put it all down. Old habits die hard, and fear was deeply wired into her nervous system. But of course, you can try really hard with all your might, and it will never be done, never be perfect, never be enough to stop all the cruelty, all the pain in her world, in this world, in our world. This woman understands so much more now, that this world can't be healed by any one person. And just as she wants every person to be happy, to have what they need, to be loved and to belong, she's realized that she is a person too, just as worthy of care as any of the others she has tried so hard to help. This woman does what she can now to be happy and to tend to the little world around her. In fact, sometimes she tries so hard to not try so hard. But finally, her nervous system accepts that the very little that she can do without trying so hard is enough. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. And her tombstone will say, she brought joy and healing wherever she went. She was a kind woman, and kind to herself, too. Thank you. I'll just read one more here. It's called Summer Evening. The quiet rattle of leaves shaking in the wind. Evening sunlight wiggling through the leaves like shimmering water in a pond. Neighbors trimming hedges, sharing news, chatting kindly. Robins swooping into the crabapple tree, the original twitter right in my front yard. Traffic on the busy street won over. The fecundity of midsummer, 100 shades of green breaking into 1,000 by the low sunlight, deep shadows. Grasses and weeds in every crack, reminding us that we're really not in charge here. All is moving. Leaves, grasses, branches, shadows, my digestive tract, my blood, my thoughts, the swirling atoms, the air, the sun, the planets, the galaxies, and here I am, halfway between an atom and a star, sitting still in the middle of it all. Peace on a summer eve.
I would like to be a better man than I used to be. And I would like to be the man I used to be. And I want her to be the girl she used to be. But I know we will never be as we used to be, but she, to me, will always be the girl she used to be. Every time I write a poem, I send it up to my old friend that I started grade 1 with, and he always gets back to me and tells me what I did wrong. But what I did is I was so mad at Putin that I wrote this poem. And it went like this: what's the want and what's the need? To kill at will, nothing to heed. Take human life with no regard. To past or future, you. And Ken got back to me and said, Grant, you can't use that word. And I said, what the hell do you mean? Everybody uses that word now. Schoolyards, all over the place, women, men. Even Trump used it the other day. He said, I don't mean that word. I mean, I said, Ken, I researched retard. And it's an acronym for dimwit. It used to be, now it's changed. Everything changes. I said, okay, here's the second verse. Stand two men against a tree because of color worn is gray or blue, and shoot them dead, 'cause belief was not like you. Another life taken with no regard. To past or present, to past or future you. So I said, okay, I'll change that to moron. But I'm going to have to go through the whole thing, and then moron will not be a recognizable word that you can use anymore either. So there's lots of words. Freedom of speech is all regulated now according to what you can use, so you don't upset or annoy anybody in the crowd or anybody anywhere in the world. But I won't tell you the final verse. Maybe I'll leave that till next time because I got to change it to something perhaps moron or something similar to that. But that's easy. I have a whole pile of things I have to go through. But anyway, I'll read one more for you. If I can find it. It's titled Molly Says. Let sleeping dogs lie, she said. Better not to stir the pot. When calm is needed, tranquility sought. But Molly dear, are we but sheep? Acquiesce must we for peaceful sleep? Lover mine, you best be here without regret, without fear. Take care now of things you like and those that you hold dear. Most times life just trudges on. Do not risk a backside kick because you did not get your way. Perhaps your mind a wee bit thick. Reaction to an action, real or no, make your point and then move on. Cause only a furrow on the brow, go from darkest day to blissful dawn. Thank you.
Well, hello, everyone. I wrote this poem because I think people often take for granted how crazy life on Earth can be. So every stanza in this describes something that actually exists. So I encourage you, if you get curious, look it up on your phone if you wish. This poem is called Agape. It's the, sorry, I still have salad dressing stuck in my throat. It's called Agape. It's the Greek form of love that's unconditional towards everything in the world. Okay, so it goes like this. There exists a planet of endless wonder that despite its vast fields of oil, its deep layers of coal, where in every pint, every square inch is a soul that died so unfathomably long ago. Yes, despite all this, it never stopped the rain from circulating, never stopped new life from rising. It never gave up. Look at all that we have because of its tenacity. There are birds on the edge of the globe, bodies like blubbery erasers, wings like canoe paddles, star athletes in water, delightfully clumsy everywhere else. They make sounds like broken trumpets when they slip and fall. There are tiny armadillos in baby pink, rose petals who were given life by those lawless, chaos-loving fae, and broke free from their stems with the help of a breeze. There are shrimp that love the idea of the Wild West so much, they fashion themselves pincers that can turn the very water around them into bullets. There are bushes in the North American deserts whose leaves release the savory scent of cheese when crushed. There are puny, puny fishes that live solely in one hole on the entire earth, living sapphires that flutter defiantly in half-lit waters. There are pigeons down under, the unassuming color of mud, but in the light, their feathers glow brighter than rainbows. Together, there are veins of opals across the sky. There are monsters amongst the sands, whose saliva holds the potential both to heal and to hurt. They remind me of the worldwide monsters, always using their potential to wage war, to create peace, to scream into their nightmares when they can no longer tell the difference. Knowing that the crops they are feeding, Knowing the crops that are feeding today's children are thriving because of the blood spilled yesterday, that in all the air, within every molecule, there are traces of carbon from people and papers, burned to ash in the name of hatred and ignorance. Yet, despite all this, no one stopped the band from playing. No one stayed the artist's hand. They never gave up. Look at all that we have because of their tenacity. Tell the businessman in purple that I don't need a golden ticket. I already live in a factory for wonder. Comrades in scales, feathers, fur, even those in clothing. I hope they know, because I know if we let agape become our blanket, we can stand under the rain and be confident that God is crying out of pride. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. My poem has sort of been a list of things I've been putting together the last couple weeks. It was my birthday last Wednesday, and I turned 48. Yep, thank you. So this poem is sort of my thoughts on some of the changes that I've been witnessing. And it's entitled Ride or Die, a perimenopausal highway. When your body starts turning into an old Indian car, you don't panic. You just put the key in the ignition and let the check engine light flicker. The medallion sways from the rearview mirror, beaded with 1,000 memories of people, places, and good comebacks that come to you at 4 a.m. on a random Tuesday night. Your bumper sticker reads, "Happens." Yes, it does. The upholstery, once velvet, is now scarred, saggy, threadbare, worn from years of loving too hard. Cigarette burns used to mark late nights and rebellion. Now they're from fits of anxiety and trying out the let them theory. High beams, they're stuck on low, just like your energy and tolerance for small talk and bull. The radio blares from one stubborn speaker, last star radio in a sky of static. You've got saddlebags now, only you're not a cowgirl and this isn't a Bronco, but you're seriously considering using a whip. Duct tape holds your muffler together, but your new motto is, I give zero. Your antenna is bent, but that's okay because you barely know where you're going half the time. Only one lock works, and that's the trunk. The ashtray overflows like your tears whenever someone waves you into traffic. And damn, kindness breaks me more than cruelty ever did. Sorry the seat reclines so much, that's from an old snag. The tires are bologna skins, thin like my patience. The only spare tire I've got is the one I carry around with me. Don't mind the sound of the exhaust pipe. Conversations these days are mostly muddled. A braid of sweetgrass lays across the dashboard, not to protect my passenger from any accident, but from my bursts of rage. You used to cruise the 509, now it's the highway to hell. The horn only works at the drive-thru when you're hungry. Dust and exhaust blur your vision, but that's okay because you've graduated to +3 reading glasses. People often mistake that cackle under the hood for your big auntie laugh. And my favorite keychain reads, ride or die, ride or die, ride or die. Thank you.
I wrote this May 25th last year. Let me put this down a little bit. I wrote this May 25th last year. It was my first sunburn of the year, and I recently just had my first sunburn of the year again. The spring light seems like it's not going to hurt me that much, but it does. So this was, we played outside at a car show, and it was the morning light, and I didn't put out any sunscreen. And it's called Scorched. Here we go. First felt like a gentle kiss of sunlight. From the oh-so-welcome blue skies, non-threatening spring morning rays through the afternoon's persistence on my once creamy white complexion, all aglow, now mimicking some resemblance to the fire-red flesh of the summer fruit's finest tomato. I reach for my aloe and twist my body to lay on the only shoulder it may without pain, hoping to soothe and with days passing bring out a soft bronze instead of snowflakes or what I imagine would look like the dander of swans. I wish so much for the former. Now to ease, I seek deep dermis reviving moisture, so that this unexpected wishful tan may be reinforced. But for now, and for the several hours to follow, I remain scorched. Okay, thank you. And this one, This one's song lyrics. I wrote this song recently. We're going to debut it. We're playing Ribfest this Friday from 5:30 to 8:30 at the exhibition grounds. And then we're coming to the Owl because it's the Owl's 15th, there we go, 1-5 anniversary with a funk band, Adequate. So, yeah, you want something to do? Come celebrate the Owl that night, or come eat some ribs at the Ribfest and then come celebrate the Owl, too. Okay, so this is called Aligned, and it's a song about just kind of everybody coming together, being good to the world, and showing each other respect, and showing the earth respect. Okay, it goes like this. Show me patience, speak to me kind words. Show me empathy, God knows it's what I deserve. Give me all those right feelings that I put on this earth, and show me respect, show me respect, show me respect. I'll do unto others as I expect for myself. I won't ask for a helping and not be prepared to dish it out. Do unto others as I expect for myself. I wouldn't take a grand plate to not be prepared to dish it out. And show me respect, show me respect, show me respect. Got what you needed, won't you lay your fortune down? Give what you concede to when the tax man come around. Yeah, it's conceivable while all of this is going on. Yeah, it's perceivable. We could lay our okay, can I start that again? Holy moly, it's hard to read that for the very first time. It's a song, so I only have ever sang it. I practiced it before I got here. Okay, one more time. So, show me patience, speak to me kind words. Show me empathy, God knows it's what I deserve. Give me all those right feelings that I put on this earth, and show me respect, show me respect, show me respect. I'll do unto others as I expect from myself. I won't ask for a helping and not be prepared to dish it out. Do unto others as I expect from myself. I don't want to take a grand plate and not know how to dish it out. And show me respect, show me respect, show me respect. Got what you needed, won't you lay your fortune down? Give what you concede to when the tax man come around. Yeah, it's feasible while all of this is going on. Yeah, it's conceivable we could tear our discords down, find solutions, agreeable contributions could be unbound. To the human race and the animals, and the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, and sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond, to the human race and the animals, to the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, to sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond. The ripple could be profound. The ripple would be profound. The ripple would be profound. If we show one another patience, we speak to them kind words. We show great empathy. God knows it's what we all deserve. And we give all those good feelings that we can put on this earth, and we show respect, collective respect, and we give respect. And we show respect, collective respect, and we give respect to the human race and the animals, the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, to sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond, to the human race and the animals, to the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, and sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond. The ripple would be profound. The ripple would be profound. The ripple will be profound. That's it. Thank you. I have to have a little bit of beat in there, or it's hard to do it.
I'm a little rusty, but I haven't written anything in a long time, so I have two little small poems I want to share today. This one's called The Water People. The land keeps secrets beneath. That's what my gahsa used to tell me. So Yitzitapiks would slither around the legs of their horses, spooking them as they moved camp, in the rivers trying to cross them before the sun down. She would look down and watch them, but she would see herself and others breathing under the water. No braids, just our long strands flowing with the currents. Water people. They had forgotten to leave an offering that day. Okay, and then I wrote this one about my late grandparents, and it's called A Goodbye to a Beloved Place. I don't know how old I was. It was all a blur. Grandma got sick, then uncle, and then grandpa. I remember my room in the basement. It was small and fit a tiny bed and dresser. My drawings, posters, and photos lived on the walls. And the floor was always cold, and the window let in a tiny bit of sunshine. I used to cut my own bologna thick in between 2 pieces of bread, lots of mustard. My Christmas tree, they'd call me, and not just during Christmas. Me and Buzz would go down to the old church, left behind from the days of residential schools, and we break in, but to only ring the giant bell, then get chased home. I remember the day I had to move to Calgary with Mom. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is my second time here, so it's my second poem then. I wrote this poem yesterday. Took me an hour and a half, and then I polished it up today. It's a serious poem, and I wrote it in the first person. But I think that there are people that can relate to it. So I hope you enjoy it, but it is not a happy poem. Valley of Loss. I live in this valley of loss, narrow and deep, no way up and no way out. Feeling homeless, vacant, even barren and weak, stripped back to nothing except for clothes on my back. Meadows of memories remain atop. All my tears are turning grasses to moss. This solitude, silent, sorrowful, now stuck, looping around endless in this valley of loss. No one else can reach down to get me out. There is no plan, out loud I shout, no design to imprison me with only my thoughts. My heart begs mercy to no one who's there. This valley of loss, such a solo trip there. The ache of the consciousness to free me this pain, sober, face to face, left is reality of what must remain. This valley of loss stands strong and unyielding, no easy climb, no way up, no way out. Even while pleading for markers, even a few broken steps, no hand to hold, pull, nor stretch. I shout to the silence, release your unyielding, stubborn strength. Sinking fast out of sight, I grasp, I cry, I hide myself there, with fear lest I show my whole self bare to no one who's there. My soul lingers long, raw and untethered, looping, remaining hopeless, perhaps forever. Do I even care? Until the unconscious teaches lessons which are only found there. Hidden from sight, sound and surface, is this valley of loss blinding the purpose? With some resignation, or perhaps more resistance, my soul whispers without insistence, relax. 'Tis a matter of living that makes things right. Carry on with your sort. The lessons are near, within sight. You won't remain stuck, so take flight from fear. Your pain is acknowledged. This valley becomes dear. Once you recognize, then realize, your path is made clear. Then up and out your heart will leap, no longer to loop, sink, or sleep. I live in this valley of loss, oh, so deep.
Don't touch the mic. Don't touch the mic. All right. Yes, my name is Gabriel. And yes, I host an open mic, music open mic at Theoretically Brewing most Thursdays. And then the first Friday of the month, I host karaoke as well at Theoretically. So if you ever want to come out on a Thursday and play a few tunes, feel free. So I hadn't planned. I was just stopping by, and I totally forgot it was the poetry night tonight. So lovely poems by everybody so far. I was going to do, like Jolene, I was going to do a couple songs as poems. I'll start with a story song called Franklin D. Scruff. Well, let me tell you a little story about Franklin D. Scruff. Times were pretty hard. Life was rough. He threw it all away for a shot at some shiny stuff. Say a prayer for Franklin D. Scruff. Are you still alone? Can you feel all the scars you've sown inside me? Tell me, will you wait and see all the things you said I'd be? Now, Frankie's mama didn't like him as much as she did his older brother. She'd often quote the Bible, said, "Let us love one to another." But though she prayed and though he cried, nothing ever was enough. She had no love for Franklin D. Scruff. Are you still alone? Can you feel all the scars you've sown inside me? Tell me, will you wait and see all the things you said I'd be? Well, he got kicked around, he got pushed around, he got kicked in the teeth. It taught him to lie, it taught him to cheat, learning all the worst ways to survive. But even Frankie would have to admit, long after dark when he was ready to quit, he was just doggone tired of being alive. Sometimes he'd walk by the jewelry store. Late at night, instead of pacing the floor, he'd stand there for hours just staring inside at the pretty jewels that reminded him of all the things denied to him. And sometimes when no one was looking, Frankie cried. Well, maybe for mischief or maybe for fun, but Frankie went and got himself a gun. He'd stand there, pistol in hand, hour upon hour. He didn't know yet what to do with it. All he knew was how he felt with it. Holding that revolver gave him a feeling of power. Well, he walked right down to that jewelry store. He made up his mind. He kicked open the door. He pointed his gun right in that poor clerk's face. Said, "Give me the loot." Said, "Give me the stuff. No time to be a hero. Don't try to be tough. If you don't do what I say, I start shooting up the place." Well, Frank had never used a revolver before. It came from the street. He didn't buy it in the store. So no one had taken the time just to explain how a hair trigger in shaky hands could so quickly change your plans, and just what a speeding bullet will do to a man's brain. Are you still alone? Can you feel all the scars you've sown inside me? Tell me, will you wait and see all the things you said I'd be? Well, they hauled him away, they locked him up. They appointed a lawyer, took him to the judge. They gave him his 5 minutes to explain. He looked that judge right in the eye. He opened his mouth and told his last lie. And he said, "I meant to kill that clerk, and I'd do it again." Well, Frankie never knew just why he said it. All he knew was he didn't regret it. Soon he was staring down the barrels waiting for release. Without a tear or a single sob, on his way to hell via firing squad. For the first time he could remember, Frankie felt at peace. Let me tell you a little story about Franklin D. Scruff. Times were pretty hard. Life was rough. He threw it all away for a shot at some shiny stuff. Say a prayer for Franklin D. Scruff. Thank you.
My first poem is called To the Poets. Let the depth of your soul shine through like a bright beacon of eternal light. Let it shine in every poem you write, and let it brighten the road in the dark. Let your poems be the key to open the hidden lock to every heart, every vision, every secret dream, every burning desire of every human. Let it be the guiding post in times of adversity, the missing piece for happiness and hope. Let the depth of your soul shine through every poem you write and share it with us all. And the next one I just wrote recently. It's called Walk Every Mile. Walk every mile until you know there are no more obligatory steps to take. Choose your own path and be spontaneous like you were as a child. Explore like your ancestors did. Have nature, your intuition, and your feelings guide you. Let them be your compass like the North Star was to your ancestors everywhere. Walk every mile with ease and joy. Walk every mile for you. Many, many thanks to Braden for the sound and the rest of the staff at the Owl for the awesome venue and excellent service. Thanks to Ryan from Rogers TV for recording, editing our event, for broadcasting it, and posting it on YouTube. Thank you to our sponsor, Andrea, from the Port Co-working Space for sponsoring us for the last 3 months. Thanks to Kat for being my co-pilot and her help for ironing the kinks out and doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. Thanks to all of you poets for participating and our audiences here at the Owl. Thank you to our Rogers audiences for watching us on blah, 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 blah. Let's do this again. Thank you to our Rogers audiences for watching us on cable and on YouTube. See you all on Wednesday, July 23rd. Open mics are every 4th Wednesday of the month, except for December, when we meet on the 3rd Wednesday. Future events, July 23rd, August 27th, September 24th, October 22nd, November 26th, and December 17th. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a safe drive home. See you next month.